How you doing, sir? Yeah, I'm down here in Louisiana watching all this. They said in 72 hours they're gonna try something else, but they really haven't it's another Katrina, and they laid back on it. What they want to do now is take human hair and animal hair to suck it up off the beaches to make mats out of it. But I think the bayou boys, it's gonna tear them up. It's gonna finish the bayou boys. All the boats are docked right now. You can't buy no seafood. And right now in Venice, it's 10 miles off the shore, real heavy, and it hit the shore in Alabama now. And when it hits here full, it's just gonna wipe Louisiana out. And I think all the southern states.
Well, they continue to underestimate the amount. First, it was a few thousand gallons a day, but experts looked at the satellite photos and said it had to be hundreds of thousands a day. It's now 3.5 million gallons. Who knows? It could be 20 million gallons. I mean, they're such liars, Max Keiser. Who knows?
Well, it sounds medieval. They're making mats out of people's hair. I mean, what's next? Leeches?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I heard it on news radio driving in this morning. And the host was saying, what are mats of hair going to do? In fact, guys, pull up oil spill, mats of hair. What are they talking about, mats of hair?
Because if you go back a few hundred years, people back in the medieval times, when they had problems like this, they would band together and cut their hair off and make mats of hair. But, I mean, is this the best America has to offer, medieval cures? I mean, what century are we in?
But listen, people, you think we're joking. What have you heard about the mats of hair? I thought I was in the Twilight Zone driving in, but it was a mainstream talk radio going, what is this about mats of hair in the Gulf? So they're going to have people cut their hair off and throw it in the ocean?
Collecting hair from salons and animal farms, and they're going to bind it together into stockings, nylon stockings, and you float that out into the water, and it sucks up, it attracts the oil. Okay, so here you have this 21st century high-tech oil spill that we were told the probability of there being a spill was virtually nothing. It explodes because nobody bothered to spend the $500,000 on the safety equipment that would have prevented this thing from blowing up. And to cure the problem, they're going to have people collect hair at salons and make hair mats from stockings.
All right, real fast, because I want to go to calls, but specifically, we've had some guests on who talk about the fact that this happened right after the day after Earth Day, that Obama didn't really want to allow drilling, that BP is going to make money off insurance on this, that they're only liable for something like $750 million. Are you hinting at this being staged, Max?
No, I'm not hinting. I'm hinting that the companies are too cheap to buy adequate safety equipment. I mean, think about, for example, I don't want to go open a big thing here, but for $50 an airplane, it would have been very easy to have an adequate lock between the cockpit and the fuselage of an airplane. But airlines are too cheap. Industry is too cheap. They could have prevented, terrorist attacks.
But Max, you know as well as I, 9/11 was a staged event.
Well, but I'm just saying that they're cheap. So this is a $500,000 piece of equipment that BP, other countries, by the way, not in America.
No, I know. Everybody else has them.
Mandatory. You have to have this $500,000 piece of equipment that shuts down the valve if there's an explosion. But America has become a third world country where you don't have to comply to any environmental regulations anymore. You can just go into the Gulf, stick something in the bottom of the Gulf, and if it blows up, who cares? I mean, that's the.
All right, Max. Absolutely. Let's get to a few final questions for you because you've got to go. Jacob in Oregon, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're on the air with the Max, the home gain orange gorilla. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Alex. Max, thanks first of all for answering most of my questions actually during the course of this show. But I do have one final one, and that is that reading over the patent, I've only read the one from 1999 that looks at the virtual specialist, kind of sets it up as a sort of distributed system of trading, it develops a trading machine gun. Now it seems like it's being used as a nuclear weapon, except instead of a bomb just destroying your house, it takes everything from your neighbor's garage and puts it in yours. How is this really the first strike, would you say, in what we would consider cyber warfare?
Well, as I said at the top of the show, I think it's an example of a domestic financial terrorist attack, unequivocal. So it's the first example. As far as my patent goes, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not used the way it was designed. It was designed actually to eliminate front running and to eliminate the broker-dealer conflict. But instead, the new owner, Cantor Fitzgerald, they've accentuated the broker-dealer conflict, and they've turned it inside out, which under European law is completely illegal, by the way. You can't do that to anyone's intellectual property.
But because it's all globalized, they do whatever they want. But let me throw this out there. Did you see the Hill newspaper and also CBS with Obama over the weekend saying this may have been cyber terror? Well, obviously, it's Goldman Sachs doing it, and they stand to gain, and it was staged. It wasn't a fat finger. So now they're going to use this to take our internet freedoms, claiming that some guy in a cave did this.
Well, I think you have to differentiate between cyber terror, as that term is understood, and this is what I call financial terror. Cyber terror would be something like a distributed denial of service attack you see between China and the U.S. all the time. It takes place over the Internet.
Or somebody hacking into a hospital and turning the power off.
This is specifically attacking the market-making mechanism at the root of all exchanges in the U.S. and around the world.
No, I know. My question is, Max, what do you think of Obama floating the idea that men with turbans did this?
Well, I didn't hear him say that, but I can tell you that it was Goldman Sachs. I mean, I don't know what else can I tell you?
No, I know. I agree with you. Hey, guys, pull it up.
That's it. 3 syllables.
Pull it up. Obama says stock market plunge, maybe cyber attack, or maybe sabotage was the headline. Sabotage.
If he said it, he's completely misinformed. Well, he's misinformed. I mean, he's not an expert in these areas, and he made a misstatement. He doesn't really understand.
Well, I don't think it's a misstatement. I mean, when somebody slips on a banana peel, they say Al-Qaeda did it, and we just give up all our rights and keep us safe.
Well, I'm telling you what happened is from the point of view of somebody who's very familiar with these systems,
well, we know they're lying and saying a fat finger did it. I mean, they're saying a fat finger did it. Now they admit it wasn't a fat finger.
No, it was not a fat finger. That was not the problem. They've already been discredited. That idea is no longer even being considered. And now, if you have people like Janet Tavakoli, who's extremely well respected, now questioning whether or not this was market manipulation. Barry Ritholtz over there at the Big Picture, he's a very plugged-in guy on Wall Street. He republished my blog and some things I've written about it. He's now saying this is actually kind of a plausible idea, and you've got a lot of people stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what, this is actually could be the situation. And
I'm going to have Paul Watson go over to MaxKeiser.com and get your top story about this. We're going to do our own big report on it. MaxKeiser.com, Keiser spelled Keiser. Max, it's always great having you on. I appreciate your time. It's always thought-provoking, and you have been dead on right about everything so far. And I just wish that you were wrong about this gulag economy, but you normally join us once a month, so that means you're coming up in just a week or two. And so I look forward to having you back on with us to be able to cover the aftermath of the latest looting that's happened.
Yeah, remember the home loan gorilla.
Man, I tell you what, you are something else. Max Keiser, we'll talk to you again soon. God bless you.
Bye.